Alright, so what we have here is a hexagon. I made 2 of these out of 2x4s. Ran them through the planer, got them all the same thickness. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut them at 16 inches. And that's 16 inches on the outside. And it would be 12 inches on the inside. Make sure you get a nice clean 30-inch cut, otherwise they all will not match up when you get to the end. You do 16 on the outside. From outside to outside of the hexagon is going to be 28 inches, as shown in the video. Once you get your hexagon all together, I take my router right here with the fancy little head, and I route the top. This one right here is the top sill, so I'm going to route the top of it all the way around. And once again, this is the top sill. Now this is the part that's going to be in between. So I'm going to put it to the flat front. Don't make the mistake of going the opposite way like me. And I would definitely clamp down your project. So I'm going to go all the way around, continue all the way around, give it a nice fancy look. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to take orbital sander and sand down the top and the fronts. Give it a nice clean look. Or you can use that beast of a sander I got right there. That thing is a beast. Now here what we have is the framing of the wishing well. You're going to make 6 of these for each corner of the hexagon. I made them at 22 inches. You're going to rip them. Rip a 2x8 or 2x6 or even a 2x4, whatever you want. Make sure you set your table saw to a 30-degree angle. And you're going to rip each one of these down. Glue them, stick them together on the 30-degree angle. And I use a brad nailer and I go all the way around. So here I'm putting it on the frame, on the bottom frame. I glue everything. Line them all up, tack them all in. Even add some screws, which I do at the end. Make sure they're nice and straight. Make sure the inside point is on the inside point of the hexagon, and then the outside point, as you see right there, is on the outside point. Line them up as nice and possible as you can. It'll help in the end. So here I take the top sill, I flip it over, place it on the bottom, line them up as best as you can right off the bat. Then take your brad nailer, and I would just tack a couple in and then go all the way back around and finish tacking them all in. And then you can add the screws. Here's a fun fact for you. I'll tell you at the end of the video. What is the oldest woodworking tool? Oldest woodworking tool. What is it? Alright, these are some of the projects I've done. I've been having a lot of requests to show videos and plans for them. Please subscribe. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll show you how I make the truck. There's the horse, the dog, the chicken. There's quite a few more that I made. They sold. These are all sold and waiting to be picked up too. And the seahorse. There's my wishing well. So what I have here is I ripped down some 2x8s down to 2 inches. Then I flipped those 2 inches and ripped them down to 1/4 inch, just over. Glue them every single piece, and then brad nail it all in. Now you do want to put a little bit of glue on each ends of those because eventually they'll try to bow on you. So here you're making one solid piece. Now you could do this with different materials if you want. A lot of my customers just like the pattern of it. Let's speed this along a little bit. There we go. Took my laser and printer and put a little extra something on it. Now finishing up. What I'm doing here is I'm gluing up and putting trim all the way around it. Now these are the 1/4 inch by 2 inch. They are the 22 inch long, the same as the frame. Now this whole project runs you around $55, $60 to build this, depending on which way you go, how many screws you want to use. And I could build 3 of these in a day, bang them all out at the same time. and then I sell them for $300 a pop. In the last 2 weeks, I've sold 16 wishing wells. And this one, as I'm speaking and making the video, it's actually out in my front yard, and I just had somebody purchase it. I guess that would be 17. They're one of my top sellers, along with the horses and the trucks and the chickens. The horses and the chickens I sell for $125 a piece. The trucks, the large one is $500. The smaller one that's not in the video, that one went for $300. The seahorse is $125. So you're going to continue this all the way around. I mostly built this out of pressure treated 2x4s for the sills. Then we're going to have the arms that go upright. They are 5 feet to hold the roof in. And then you got the roof supports to put on, which you will see later in the video. If you guessed axe for the oldest woodworking tool, you're right. It's an axe. Alright, so here's the roof supports that will hold the roof up. Now these are cut at 45 angle. You want to make sure you cut them so they kind of make a point, as you see. The length of them from the outside is 22 inches. Apparently I made that one a tad bit longer. So once you glue them, brad nail them, I like to screw them. Like I said, everything's pretty much screwed except for those front slaps. Alright, once you get those angles in the roof support done, those vertical boards, the 2x4s that you see there that they're connected to, they are 5 feet long. They are 2x4s. And the top board there was measured at the top sill on the inside of those 2x4s to get a sack to put at the top. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put each one of those 45 angle roof supports, and you want to measure the outside of the left side and the right side to make sure that they match, so that you know you have the exact pitch on both sides and the peak from that 2x4 up to the peak. Here I'm putting the slaps on the roof shingles, I guess you want to call them. Now each one is glued. I include gluing the very tip of it so this way it holds the centers down. Make sure none bows. The glue that I'm using here is actually a refill bottle. I used the number 3 glue, wood glue. A nice little bead across there, just to make sure it holds it all down and lasts. Now as you see there, the overlap. You want to make sure you get as close as possible to the other side. You can make yourself a little jig too to make sure you have the same measurements on all sides. I do have one. I was just rushing a little bit here. You want to keep it the same exact thickness on each side. If you don't, it will run off on that peak. After a couple of them, take an extra measurement. Make sure you have it on both sides, because they will run off. And there you go. Now that hole is a 1.5 inch hole for that rod that I made, and that is 18 inches high. This is the project all complete after Thompson water sealing it. Don't forget, 1,000 followers, and we'll show you how to build the truck. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. And thank you for watching my video.